Welcome everyone. I guess we should be live now. So unfortunately I had to redo this, not streaming over the right LTE. Anyway, so welcome to this channel, open source live stuff and so on. And yesterday on the More Live channel I actually quickly mentioned a Rust regression. A little bit frustrated as usual with all the stuff breaking. And I actually thought, yeah, this is way too much of my time. Let's just file a bug report and hope they fix this. Where do we have this? No, even here. Oh no. Cross default target from stable. I guess this one. And yeah, so that's me. Obviously, so took a look there. And welcome everyone. And yeah, filed a bug report, and even that like takes 15 minutes easily to do it halfway decent. And it's like, yeah, shouldn't be like this. And it's like, would be great to get a bisect. Don't recall that being intentional. It's like, yeah, you had me at bisect. So lo and behold, as a problem is a little bit, I mean, first of all, now with this YouTube channel, at least we can grow the YouTube channel. But otherwise, it is, of course, just a little bit, a lot of work always to do all the stuff. Because, so this took 2 hours, and maybe in the future we do this more often. Live, maybe in the future, leave in the comments below, maybe the next time I leave it running live without much commentary, just on the More Live channel there, or that we also have in that corner probably. So that of course took like 13 runs, and given that 13 runs, this is like 6, so this is about, so yeah, it's like 2 hours plus some overhead, because you need to freshly bootstrap this. And so the result of this, I spare you the boring stuff. We have done this previous video if you want to see this bisecting there, live bisecting a 500 to 2000% better FS Linux kernel regression. And this would have been even more boring. And yeah, that is the result of git bisect, I think, history. No, then it's log, because obviously, so actually we see, so first, good, we can also grab, starting with git, word count. So these are like 15, so this is 13, with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Right, this is, yeah, so 14 builds, so yeah, 140 minutes of epic thread wrapping AMD Ryzen 5950X time, in case you're wondering why we have such, and why we urgently need to upgrade this, because bisecting this stuff. So what is the result? The result is that, no, why is this not stop implement? Should this not be at the first standard without? Oh, wait a second. Verify we compile standard without involving. All right, we are at the. This is 7EAC, 7EAC. Yeah, this is one further. I think this one is still good. Let's git check out, start, good, bad, 7A. Did I just say that? Yeah, so that makes sense, as that is what I saw earlier. So that is the first bad commit, and that certainly makes sense, because the text reads stop implicitly appending triples to config toml. Tom's obviously minimal language, right? Previous video. Host and targets. Previously, the command line target, host definition, and configured options differed in their effect when setting these on the CLI. Only, I mean, what is the difference of not CLI? Or maybe they mean file versus command line. Anyway, only the past triples would be compiled for, while config toml would also compile for the build triple and host triples. This is needlessly confusing, but hey, it freaking worked. So users expect target and host to be identical to editing the config file. The new behavior is to respect host and target when passing as the only configured treble. So this is obviously the problem. And actually yesterday I was slightly wrong. Happens at times here on this channel, but only a tiny little bit of wrong. I filled in this bug report that the default target regression, that this Rust, which obviously is here our cross-compiled thing for MIPS, ARM, PowerPC, previous videos, RISC-V. And I actually thought it is a bug that it print config, and this apparently is not the bug. So this is true. This is also the problem if this build time would not be, what did I say, 10, I think 16, did I say 16? No, 10, I think, is it about, anyway, it is quite long. And the problem is also when this is long and cumbersome, then sometimes you fill wrong details because you just didn't double check them. So I thought that is the issue, but that because the problem is what I'm actually facing here is that Firefox doesn't freaking build. And because it, even on configure, Firefox errors all relatively quickly with Rust 148 and 149. And I thought the problem is it's not building for ARM and MIPS because the error was, and probably also still have that here, like build x86 20 logs 1, unless we recently rebuilt this. Yeah, found crate, this probably should be the issue. Although initially the issue was slightly different, it depends how you build this. So in a clean build it was like did not found crate standard. That the error slightly changed only due to the bisecting, so that we had some previously known good versions here, and now we have an incompatible version. So now it says found crate standard compiled with incompatible version. The actual error is that the version of Rust bootstrapping doesn't build a native standard crate. And due to that, so this confused me only because I wasn't reading too closely as usual, long days, long nights. I'm doing a little bit too much here, obviously. And so the issue is that actually the cross-build crates do work. The problem is that the native crates are not there. And Firefox, for some strange thing here for print line of Hello World testing, also wants a Rust for the host triplet for whatever, probably build helpers or whatnot. Anyway, so so that is the issue, slightly different than I reported. Good that we checked this, because if I would have left this in retrospect slightly wrong filed issue report here, it would probably not be fixed in a long time. And so this is basically the summary of 2 hours bisecting. And while I'm at times coming over here slightly frustrated, because like basically for weeks I fix stuff, SGI MIPS, MIP64 or ARM64, RISC-V and stuff, and then just we spent here weeks and months and 2 decades of configuring and building stuff, and then every week something majorly breaks when I'm just already can't see this humongous kinds of 1 gigabyte of sources anymore. So yeah, so what is now, after I spent I spent already over 3 hours on just, when you're wondering where is our imaginary microkernels, like yeah, if it continues that each day I need to invest and donate 3 hours of maintaining upstream open source bugs and regressions, and it's like, cheers. So what we need to do next is, and mind you, each test build takes at least 15 minutes, right? Which probably I should ask AMD and Intel if they don't want to sponsor here something even more epic thread ripping than this Ryzen 5950X. So yeah, each test build easily 15 minutes. We can try to just revert this for now. The other, or alternatively, where are we? We are now at, the problem is the Rust build system is also so large and enormous that it is even hard for outsiders to find stuff, right? Even if we just wanted to see, oh, by the way, we can git diff hat. This is exactly, by the way, why I still run on Subversion, because the syntax. I also wonder, so this is index 2 C1 25. We have 7, 8. Unfortunately, that doesn't add up there. And this is also, this bootstrap config stuff is already written in Rust, right? Which makes, for people who are not totally diehard. So basically they are, I'm now slightly wondering whether, which way this diff works, whether this is, probably should work with Git more often. Anyway, such confusion will soon not happen anymore, because obviously we will increasingly work with Rust, with Git. So let's see, this is right now 148. Let's move this patch here, either it applies. I wonder if it will apply. Did I either, where did I adjust? Did I, maybe there? Like cost std or whatever. The problem is that the Rust people need to decide how they want that. Although this is only the example config, so this thing should probably only be documentation. And so maybe we could actually work around this by adding them additionally, like manually, to the config toml, if that would automatically build more. But another thing is also why, another case in point, in my opinion, writing stuff with this kind of low-level languages, in my opinion, even shell script is more readable than that. But leave in the comments below all this. I mean, host if matches, sure, I can read this like op present host and some split matches op, but nah, I'm map collect and vectors. Nah, I mean, sure, if you have a computer science degree, you can make out what that code does, but I would say some higher level language might be more readable. So let's see if that builds with, because I'm now not sure, maybe we need to reverse that patch. Job 0 Rust C again. Maybe we can work around this. And greetings back to Cyprus and everyone else there in the audience, and as Marco is here. Yes, of course, you're streaming over LTE. So yeah, that failed. Let's see, there is what I actually personally not do on a daily basis is I just recently documented here on my log, at least I thought so. Did I not setting up? I thought I documented how to reverse patches with, there is some, did I not document that? Permanently reversing, what have I done here with that? Why is this, is it already so long time ago? Anyway, so interdiff, this is a little bit kind of a hack. You probably could do this with some git command. Also not grub, but Rust-C. You might be wondering why I actually do this, which is, let's see, does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. This should reverse the patch. X versus host standard. Yeah, that maybe looks like that. Move X to host standard. The main reason is because if I would use Rust daily in production, which I don't because I'm not the super greatest fan and convinced that Rust is that amazing. Yeah, this does not revert clearly. Oh, wait a second, does it config? I mean, that succeeded. We could comment out what we don't need. Host standard, because this config toml we don't need. And apparently that stuff maybe applied. Yeah, multiply. Okay. No, this did not apply. Yeah, okay, that is a little bit showstopper. Then we need to further understand what this is doing, and maybe we can, yeah, felt there. Succeeded at. So yeah, that doesn't apply anymore. That is set. I wonder where. So this is the usual thing also with the BetterFS regressions from the previous video. There are usually so much changes afterwards with thousands of changes between releases that it doesn't easily revert. So the question is command line and config hosts, so config host, config targets. Maybe we can just fill this into the config file. Hosts, wait a second, targets, and like a separated like comma or whatever. Here's targets to build for. But actually this is not really what, because x86 is all of x86. Because this x86 is all in one, so that is also not what we would need. Because I can update the issue report there that I filled here, like correct those findings with bisect. As this is intentional, maybe they will not even change this. If target was specified but host wasn't specified, don't run any of the host only tests. If target, so this was the original code set by bootstrap, config hosts push, config build host iterator map from user, config host contains hosts, config hosts, target in hosts iter copy chain. Yeah, but seriously, leave in the comments below how impressed you are by this Rust code. Config hosts in host clone. What else do we have here? LLVM, that is not what we are after. Build configuration options, host, target, build dir. But this is also a recurring theme, right? So only constant is change, and even if it's small things, that is also what is so frustrating, right? So just changing everything for the sake of changing, and at the end of the day causing hours of work for other people just trying to figure out what went wrong and so on. Also warning, builds with optimize equals false is not supported due to bootstrapping, but yet they have an option. Yeah. Even that to me is not obvious, how to add here two hosts or multiple hosts. But so again, what did I wanted to say? Flex, what is this? Flex targets. Host targets. Target. Host. This is also strange. Previously this was, this was vector, now it's an option vector. Vector, target selection, target. I slightly wonder whether we can add there two targets. If target was specified but host wasn't. If target is not configured, then default to the host tool chain, config host clone. Maybe we can, how do they split this here? Host target, else if some map. What what do they use to split this option? I mean, comma should be... Okay, right, this looks a little bit like target. Now on a second glance, this looks like an array. Then I wonder if we can just add this here. Maybe that works around that. At which commit are we? Git log vr, it stopped implicitly suspending. Yep, we are that. So, and the time of that, we can leave this running. Also 0 drop frames, right? Amazing. That's of course all the frames not brought to you by failing Vodafone, failing DOCSIS business cable garbage here, but lo and behold, LTE connectivity, because otherwise you can't. Also, yeah, 2021 LTE 4G network more stable than bloody Vodafone failing coax cable. Can't say this often enough because obviously. So yeah, welcome everyone, happy new year everyone, thanks for joining. And just, yeah, so I mean, tell me if probably hot air soldering on MacBooks may be more interesting. That is the drawback of the software stuff, right? Even if you're a 20-year veteran in this stuff, at the end of the day, each month there's some new latest and greatest thing that takes hours of your time away. And unfortunately, this is not super amazing parallel here. So our course barely text actually. I slightly wonder, you know what, we can leave this running because these are separate environments, and we can just configure this additionally and see if just running, what is with my typing, I think I standard, so yeah, delete that, and we could try man, does it look like I'm tired? Target, if supplying two targets, target, toolchain, conf option. So we would need to have here arch. Let's see, we have here not Firefox, we Rust, see, like something like that. And actually, you know what, theoretically we only need to be careful of we are not in the same direction. Let's see, configure, let's see, target something, let's see if that does something. Then that's actually faster than just rebuilding all of that. Actually, that works. It's a comma separated list of that. Target build host. This also explains why this is an array and this is a single variable. So this apparently does something. And you know what? We could also be kind of evil and just close this Rust bug, and because T2 certainly is the most amazing source distribution when only at us stuff just works with spending all the 3 hours of Rust bootstrap debugging upgrade, close the bug, like YOLO, whatever, forget about this, and other people can waste their time with bootstrapping Rust and not having it working in a way that works for Firefox. So, alright, I also wanted to, but leave in the comments below, should we, because the thing is, even in this issue report stuff, you could spend hours arguing with those people, and it's like, yeah, YOLO won't fix it, it's intended feature stuff, and then you only spend additional hours of chatting their text around. I wanted to see What do we have here in Arch? Man, my typing today is... what do we have here? Oh man, I think I need... set, let's see, x86. In which variable do we have Arch build? Apparently, Arch whatever. Yeah, we have the host type, Arch build, so we probably use Arch build. And replacing that to the only thing is if probably we don't want to specify both of them. So what are we doing here? We're still here. I need more epic and more thread ripping, obviously, which you obviously want to share, like, and subscribe to reach this goal faster. So we probably, as one thing I really don't like the most with shell script, I mean, its shell script is for the most part pretty good, but you can't just locally, at least not with bash. You can only do local in function. That's not a function. That's super annoying that you clobber that arch target. I slightly wonder, or let's first arch build, let's first put the code here, because I think we probably should maybe actually, or we could actually try if that works, because my thinking was maybe we shouldn't have the same, what do we even arch build there? Is that arch build no cross? I don't know if how this Rust build system reacts if we pass their 2 times the same string in there. What happens then if that explodes or whatever? So yeah, that does something. I guess we don't really need to test it further. Move this Rust stuff there. Clean all this fun stuff. And then we can have 2 builds. One is x86 and the other is x86-64, because testing, and the most testing. And then build LTE, so much to, it's not our epic thread-ripping Ryzen, it's not our preciously smart optimized OBS or Qt or Linux kernel, 0 frames at 2 something Mbit. Yeah. How much did I already? I have half a gig, 530 megabytes streamed out over a bloody abandoned iPhone SE. So yeah, 2021 iPhone SE LTE more stable than a bloody Toxis coax cable, business cable thing. So it's starting to do something. It's not erroring out immediately regarding this. I think let's double check that those triplets are correct. x86-64 ADM log 1 0 Rust, and that would be target. Yeah, so we have, yeah, this is what I mean. We have now 2 times x86 unknown Linux GNU. No idea what will happen there. That is what I was thinking to maybe avoid, but as it's not erroring out, let's see if it builds, and I'll probably just leave it like that for now. And let's check the other one. Uh, 20 IDM log targets. Yeah. But so much to it previously was just working. Now you need to bisect code for 3 hours to find new ways of config option stuff and of stuff that maybe should just work. Anyway, unfortunately, I mean, if you already, Dr. Schubert says one can have enough computing power here, exactly, which is also why I somewhat overkill upgraded to the 5950X also. Yeah, and no longing for faster memory, which is pre-ordered. Let's see, how did we get there? Anything? Probably should start our data while we are at it. Wake on Ethernet. Still need to automate this. That will be next big thing. Certainly we will do that before the end of 2021 in terms of beta, remote shell, cloud host up, and task scheduling stuff. Data started. But yeah, leave in the comments below. I certainly understand that this is not the super most thrilling content, but hey, we have faster memory and water cooling coming, and certainly keep our fingers crossed for some Zen 3 Threadripper. Then we will get back into some fine AAA product review. But it needs to be done, right? The problem is we are already now 2 versions behind Rust, and this is the only reason I totally don't like to do this, right? 3 hours plus minus, give or take, maybe even in total, probably approaching 4 hours on just this bloody issue. And sure, now it is super trivial, right? And once you did the 3 to 4 hours of research and bisecting and configuring and testing, it's like, sure, just have this additional secondary configure triplet in there, but before that it's a totally waste of time, and I don't want to fall too far back in Rust, because then next Firefox version eventually requires a newer Firefox version, and we are not ready with supporting bootstrapping. And the bootstrapping is not yet totally amazing. I would ideally try to configure that a little bit down, of not rebuilding too much stuff. They rebuilt here some stuff for what did I want to say? For bootstrapping this for sanity. Ideally, I would have like the latest Rust compiler and like not rebootstrap if you have already the same latest version or something of that installed. Because 20 minutes of rebuilding Rust a couple of times with 100 or 200 micro dependencies like parking lot, core, and you know the drill. It's like, yeah. Leave in the comments below. The next time I'm slightly considering to potentially like leave this running on the Mor live channel, just for the open source community to come together and hang out and chat and stuff without as much commentary, like 2 hours bootstrapping of Ryzen doing its thing. Leave in the comments below if that is a thing, so I only have here the summary. I guess it's a better thing for a lot of people also. All core turbo boosting, right? So let's hope that works again. Do we have here some stuff? Oh, this was a Linux kernel. This fully. Oh, we could also check if there's a new kernel release. But yeah, leave in the comments below what you think. For me, all those many languages, just today someone commented below another video, have you heard about this and that OS? And it's like, I was like, no, and then this was even a full new language, so people, I mean, yeah, I'm also somewhat considering a new language, but so much to, but how many languages do we really need of stuff that doesn't build, and people need to get into. Yeah, too smart for my own stuff here. I guess I should take a nap. Anyway, 75 degree here for 4.5 fish or core turbo boost. I'm somewhat curious how much liquid cooling will do to that. But yeah, this is super fine-tuned. Probably I should make a dedicated video about that too. What else do we have today? I could actually also... Anyway, that's mostly it. The other downloads I actually would want data to do anyway. This is mostly... So this was 4 hours and yeah, was it 10 to 15 minutes? So this should be 18, maybe this. Also we built 2 in parallel, although the parallel building is only partial due to the high amount of serialized stuff. But anyway, yeah, this stuff, so much to don't start your own Linux distribution, because maintaining all this stuff is super boring, at least for me. After 20 years, I need to move on from this, and I might sound like a broken record, but this language is like gigabyte sources, sure, with LVM and stuff, but 20 minutes compile time or 10 to 20 minutes compile time, depending whether will you build with LLVM or not, and stuff on a fastest enthusiast consumer desktop. This is crazy, in my opinion. Stuff should not be that large. And the other thing is, while we wait here, this is still quite an not very functional or abstract language. I really wonder, this is still quite too much Mac today. It's not the most advanced code here, but somehow I really wonder if modern programming shouldn't be some more kind of conceptual programming without all this imperative, very low-level stuff. I mean, this is also, yeah, it's maybe a language more for numeric number crunching and kernels and stuff, and maybe config stuff should also necessarily done in this. But, anyway, so yeah, we are building. At least it didn't error out yet. Maybe do we see this in the log? It's best to see in this, of course. 21. But yeah, recurring themos is this 200 micro dependency is not really the way to go. In other news, I also sent opened an issue with adding support for 386, 486. So this is a custom patch of ours done recently. So this is copying stage 1 standard from stage 1. I slightly wonder why it builds multiple stage. I mean, this stage stuff, I would think it only needs this for the host and build and not for the target, but yeah. Yeah, at least our Ryzen is, well, stability testing, right? If you need some stability testing, overclocking stuff, then probably build some LVM and Rust stuff. What else do we have to do? We can actually check the to-do, so ongoing stuff, whatever, no keyword. You know, we can, let's do some other stuff, unrelated stuff. This would be keyboard and keyboard init. I noticed, first of all, this keyboard rate programming stuff, we don't really need this. Where would we have open? Because who's working on the console anyway, and then keyboard rate stuff, so 25x. So the problem with this keyboard, this is only setting the keyboard rate, and this oopses on some machines without a keyboard. Also, yeah, monolithic single address space Linux kernel, right? Setting the keyboard auto repeat rate can oops your kernel. At least on Hewlett-Packard Precision Architecture and Sun, which is obviously super nice. So that's like, yeah, like let's the. Also, by the way, do we really need this? Maybe, yeah, whatever. So yeah, disable keyboard init by default can oops. It's like seriously, what the heck? Oops Linux kernel without keyboard, at least HPA and Spark, because this is so 2021 obviously, and we have done a to-do, yay. Eventually I want to spill it, but this is also not that, oops is important this year, not as much. Alright, we can also, other state, where would be the other state? A sound, do we see this in, because what I don't like on a fresh install, you get a error on shutdown, or on either on boot or shutdown, that there is no sound state. If file, then okay, so then I don't, we probably need to test this. HDA something. Let's quickly test this because that's what we do here. 2021, our Linux should be relatively perfect. Let's see, do we have, maybe it was shut down then, maybe it's shut down without sound card. Shut down, because we have here okay, everything is okay. That's how we like it. And yeah, fail, no sound cards found. So then probably we want proc a sound cards. Probably either, how do we check this? Maybe we check for card 0 or we check if there's cards. Let's see, what is the content of this file? Also, what is Mor Rust doing? Rust is still, yeah, I wasn't joking when I said it takes some 15 minutes. Cards, no sound cards. I wish this file would be empty, because now we need to make sure it's not no sound cards. Sometimes cards. We probably also could check the word count of this word count, because cards have 2 lines. Or we check whether there is a proc a sound. I mean, the card should be card 0, right? Hey, finished Rust. Which one was it? This was unfortunately the 64-bit one. I'm more interested in the 486 one. Can only be a minute. The next thing is the 149 version. The last time I tried didn't terminate. Check something if guess this could probably work like, like that. I mean, if we once find it doesn't work like we want, then what was it? If we once found this doesn't have the desired effect, we can should E work? E should be exist, shouldn't it? E or D probably. Yeah. I like to use E for exist then, to have this a little bit more readable, hopefully. So if we have sound card, then check other controls, store that. I guess that has a chance to work, potentially, maybe. We just lost fan spin, so I guess that built successfully. Let's theoretically let's just run one Firefox. By the way, what was the build time? We had this 18, yeah. Oh, wait a second, what? 18 minutes real, but we were building some stuff in parallel, so yeah. We should see relatively quickly whether this works. We can also test this in 20 toolchain tools cross Rust C misc archive hello Rust. And so yeah, I guess it works because this is native and that should error out then previously with this new regression. And target 486, this should also work. So unknown GNU Linux, I really hate this unknown thing though. Also Linux GNU. Yeah, so then both work. That works around that issue. Also, this works around the issue, except Firefox does not yet build. Thank you very much for this waste of time. What do we have now here? Interesting, x86 does not work. This is exactly why, what the heck is that? Build x86. Why does it work here? This is x86 2012 generic 46 cross tools bin Rust C. Huh? Here's cannot compile no cross Linux. So this is also new. That is funny. We only use this no crossing to make sure stuff is really working. This is a historic Rock Linux thing. Here it says x86 unknown Linux GNU. Why is this x86 unknown Linux GNU here? So, what nonsense is this now? Rust host target triplet. Maybe previously, but yeah, testing, more testing, recurring theme here, right? What you don't test is broken. I wonder if it works if we don't substitute that here. Unfortunately, that is another long, but I would guess that errors out with, but by the way, we will now use tempfs, which I only need to disable for testing. So I wonder if this, otherwise I think this usually errored out with unknown configuration stuff. I'm pretty sure. But yeah, that is unexpected. I totally didn't so much to, yeah, but this is, previously I might have been tempted to just commit this, but now, I was 20 years off, you fix something and it still fails. It's like, yeah. I'm surprised it's still building though. Wait a second, or did I, wait a second. Don't tell me that. Yeah, I made a stupid mistake. Because I'm running here with a manually tweaked version, this is slightly error prone. Shouldn't manually edit stuff around like that. Don't do that at home. Let's test two things, whether that builds and whether Firefox builds like that, whether this was just unluck with imperfect configuration. But yeah, long story short, should we, let's, you know what, let's commit that. Untested, yes, I know. And what is our Firefox doing of x86? Oh no, this apparently works now, and we can revert this, and this just was unluck. This is config, so much to that. But yeah, this is just a new year and month change with change in config version of forward thinking there. So yeah, this apparently, I guess, should have fixed it then. The more you know, but yeah, also a little bit error prone, right? The default stuff configures stuff now in a way that doesn't then compile Firefox. In my opinion, not super ideal. Where is my did I not somewhere had a did I somewhere move that away maybe? Ah, I moved it away. So yeah, 1 GB we use so much to how much LTE do we use up with this precious working around failing infrastructure. So yeah, if you know, again, if you once experienced that, then of course it's easy. Otherwise, not so much. I guess. I think this is new, isn't it? I think I did not. Yeah, the 386 stuff there is new. I guess that should be it. And in case you're wondering how distributions are made, Firefox, of course, the very latest, 8401, updated also like yesterday. Then I guess with all these changes, let's do test one last thing. And with all the fine-tuning and small issue and perfectionist tweaks, it's probably already time again to spin new ISOs. We have not spinned all of them anyway, like ARM64 and MIPS and stuff. The last time we only had PowerPC, Spark, x86. And we will soon start to do this weekly. Also, we need this one. Also, DH client. What is corrupt? Working copy is corrupt? Yeah. Let's test this ALSA change thing. And just theoretically, we also need to test, theoretically we could stop this already. Because we also need to test Rust 149. Unfortunately, the last time I tested this, it somehow didn't. Let's hope this might have regenerated, of course. So last time I tried this, it didn't terminate. It was like hanging forever in some whatever it did, no idea. So yeah. Hello, and why is this not doing a thing? Hello, internet. This might have gotten the wrong name server, because this might have gotten the. Oh, wait a second. Oh no, this 10. Oh, this is a QEMU name server. Maybe this is going through the iPhone, but no, it shouldn't. I only have the route to the Google. Everything should. Why does this now not work? Works here. Why not in the VM? HTTPS SVN exec code T2 trunk. That is a new thing. This is IPv6. Yeah, thank you very much. Should IPv6 not work? Why does this not work? I think previously this usually worked. What is going on here with this stuff? Failed to execute, Rust-C, something. 2012, what is now with this stuff? Rust target, explain, try not implemented. Unrecognized, so Rust-C parse format. I think they need probably 486 support. Yeah. Fun stuff, right? Joystick asks which distribution are you using mainly. We are obviously using our own distribution, T2, just raw source Linux. Cheers. Roland Ruckerbauer says delete your IPv6 address. Yeah, I did this somehow. Did this, didn't do much. Maybe it did add something back automatically. Did we not do this? Some strange stuff. That is also working though. Why does just this not work? Usually that worked in the VM. Anyway, yeah, if you thought you are done, then the next version of Rust has a new breakage. Sticks ask, what do we mean with bisecting? Bisecting is a general term in computer science, meaning dividing some section in two, and specifically in open source code management with changes between versions of 10 or 100,000 changes. Going through the changes nowadays highly automated with Git to find where actually a regression occurred, a regression bug or test suite failure, whatever, new behavior. Let's try this again, and maybe there was some strange stuff caching. Oh, wait a second, this is also wrong. Let's see what... By the way, today I tried another supposedly modern and advanced distribution that was not T2, and I was surprised to find that they were using ISO Linux to boot the ISOs. I find this really outdated, to be honest. If you see ftrace using IPv6, it can still be IPv6. Yeah, actually, that is true. I recently saw this with some IPv4 prefix there, hex, FFFF, whatever stuff. That is indeed true. No, there is something borked in some way or the other. So Rust building here, let's see, this is probably destined to fail soon. Why is it building this time so long. Ah, now it failed. So apparently they have here some new target helper stuff that we need to patch our cannot be type target of no target in spec. Let's see what is here. Maybe they changed here this Linux GNU super something something whatever. Let's do the following. Let's take our 486 and source in that and compare that target result. So they apparently freaking what the heck, they completely so yeah, at least it matches the topic of ever. The only constant is change. I mean, why the freaking heck do they it's hilarious. It's hilarious. So let's test this. So target. So this is target. In which file are we even? 486. You know what? The old stuff even looks somewhat. No, darn. Ah, come on. This is where I copied that. Ah, this was Musel. Shit. Can it be so difficult? So it's supposed to be target now, not target result. Then basically 486, and this is also so base option. Wait a second, what do I even? So I have the feeling I do some nonsense. 486, so base CPU. I then wonder is it this one or build? Oh, this is build. Target result, no target result in spec. Or did this now? Wait a second. 4. Oh, this was also 386. Maybe it wants to compile both, obviously. This was it CPU? Okay, CPU maybe. Let's build. Nah. Applied implement try of 386. There's some. What have we? Target results, supremo base CPU. whatever, I don't know. Target, little base, super, CPU, LVM target, and first glance does not look broken. What have we done wrong here? Ah, wait a second, why is there? Maybe it's just that, but we didn't type this, did we? Let's replicate this in the patch. The fun thing is I need to... Good that we test this actually, because I sent it upstream without compile testing that. So that would be great. Target without result. Why do you constantly need to change this? Why? So yeah, so this stuff was here. 486 option CPU and base, because of course one needs to change. This is the kind of stuff that really triggers me of why the freaking heck. I mean, if it's not that broken, just leave it for a decade. Because, I don't know, some... So the thing is, what really triggers me is that other people need to constantly enforce this kind of changes on other people. So, I mean, all I wanted to have here is my Firefox, and now each month I need to waste time like this for... So it's doing something. Let's start this from scratch. Because want to have the result installed for Firefox testing. That probably, let's check if this doesn't. So yeah, soon anyway, full rebuild for 21.1 ISOs, and so yeah, 2021 probably expect monthly ISOs, which means monthly fixes of Linux kernel, new architectures. Probably I should take a second look. We had this video last year of FPGA RISC-V 32-bit. Probably I still should look. At the end it wasn't working perfectly. It was like working over 90%ish, but it was not like fully API stable. Due whatever RISC-V 32-bit stuff was unfinished, the upstream. But yeah, you see now highly automated. It's only obviously still, despite 2 decades, and mostly due to ever ongoing changes, always something to improve and fix and stuff like the Rust bootstrapping stages here needs to be better integrated to just work and so on. Matthew likes us typing. Roland using routing entry to split traffic between LTE. Instead of using a routing entry, could set up a network namespace and move the LTE interface to then spawn OBS in this namespace. What I actually, yeah, thanks for that idea. I wasn't thinking about that, but what I actually want to do is set up some kind of channel bonding. Obviously, that probably doesn't work from entirely different network segments and ISPs, because you can't from 2 different IP addresses fire one TCP IP connection there to Google YouTube. So what I actually want to do is route here some traffic through our data center, so that we have WireGuard to the data center, and then dynamic load balance that, so that as much as possible goes to the failing DOCSIS cable shit, like 1 Mbit or so, that is somewhat stable. It's like, yeah, we pay for up to 50 upstream and barely get 1. I think this would be even like more transparently of that. I can on the router configure that for some IP addresses or whatnot to save a little bit. Actually, speaking about save, in the meantime, probably we, where is my, did I close that? Apparently, maybe I closed that. Yeah, 1.3 gigabyte already. So yeah, so much to my 20 gigs of traffic. The built-in commands in IPNS should be sufficient to set this up. Thanks for that note, and that Roland has a workflow where moved static routing entries to the solution, which unbreaks a lot of use cases and had issues with two interfaces. Interesting. But again, I don't think you can channel bond it like this. You could only channel bond this if you have two, if your ISP supports this, so that you have channel bonds this on the Ethernet level and on the TCP IP level have one IP address, because Google only should see one IP address. So this is why I think having WireGuard encrypted routes, you don't necessarily need to use WireGuard. You could also route it through to your data center, but obviously using Wireshark, what did I say? Wireshark. I mean WireGuard. Using WireGuard makes this fully transparent, and obviously, or also opposite of fully transparent, makes this fully invisible to the ISPs what is going on there, and has some nice management Ethernet, virtual Ethernet interface there on the server side, so that I would have on the data center on a VM two WireGuard virtual interfaces coming out and channel bond those virtually over WireGuard and load balance that either with a strict first mbit goes over DOCSIS cable, and not, because I'm not sure how dynamically scaling. I think the Linux kernel, the last time I looked, there wasn't so much amazing dynamically load balancing scaling, but I might be wrong, or I have not looked enough. Anyway, so yeah, each Rust version, new regressions, new configurations, new target configuration snippets. I hope you learned something. It's probably enough for this live stream. It's too long as usual anyway, with probably 1 hour 50 or something. I hope you learned something and appreciate the slog behind open source works, Linux distributions, and languages. And I probably have to work on maybe more AAA or otherwise more interesting content, because it is certainly a little bit very specific behind the scenes of what people otherwise never see, of bisecting issues, of even Rust or Firefox and all the surrounding stuff. Probably a little bit dry, a little bit somewhat boring, but if we want to keep our source distribution up to date and working in each and every detail, we just have to do the cleanup work of Linus Torvalds would call it Mr. Proper work of raise your hand if you remember when some cleanup stuff in the Linux kernel was called Mr. Proper. Anyway, not a paid advertisement, but that's what it is. I hope you learned something, and I hope to see you soon for all the next, hopefully more interesting, fun stuff.